Let's continue with our coverage of the BRICS Summit now. Local entrepreneurs have expressed positive sentiment about the opportunities that lie within the BRICS bloc. One of the key anticipated outcomes includes expanding their businesses outside of South Africa. Our business anchor, Tumisang Ndlovu, is stationed at the Sandton Convention Centre, and she joins us now live. And this is something to look out for, Tumisang, how any of the agreements that are made at this higher level actually trickle down, so to speak, especially for the benefit of small businesses.
Indeed, Ayanda, and one of the matters that has been widely welcomed is a proposal of this BRICS visa for entrepreneurs as a tool to open up the intra-trade, but also for South African entrepreneurs to branch out of the country and ply their trade. I'm joined now by Small Business Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams to expand on this. Thank you so much for your time, Minister. This is an exciting one. You've welcomed it. How would it pan out?
Well, I'm not going to be able to get into the details. The heads of states will give those details. We've had the ministers responsible for foreign affairs and those that are responsible for home affairs to look into the nitty-gritties of how best can we go about that. Remember, at the center of it is to ensure that we can create a conducive environment and therefore the freedom of movement amongst the different countries that must be able to do trade together. At the center of it is to ensure that we create a common framework that must enable that movement of trade, is to look at the logistical arrangements that also create opportunities for small businesses to be able to trade whilst allowing the transfer of people and the transfer of goods and the movement of people. So we are looking forward to the declarations by the heads of states this afternoon. They will give South Africans and the world in terms of what is it that we're going to do, because it's important to set out the criteria that must be used.
And it's an accelerated move from where the SME industry locally has been, because much of the issues here in South Africa has been around funding, transporting of goods to get elsewhere for trade. How vital then does it become that in 2023 this matter may be solidified and it takes us maybe into leaps and bounds looking as the near-term outlook of trade expanding?
It is very critical for us because, as I said, it's not only access to market opportunities. It's access to showcasing that we can get integrated as the countries of the world that are involved in the BRICS platform. Whether you talk about the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement that must allow on our own as the continent, we have 1.4 population. That's a market on its own. Now, to bring that strength to those that are outside the continent, it means that people have more access to opportunities, but also a better understanding of how to trade with each other. And this is why we appreciate it, that it's not only few that will benefit. But as we talk about those market opportunities, it would mean that if you are to service India, for example, and they say they give you 10% of their population, those are big numbers. And as an entrepreneur in South Africa, you may need others within the continent that must collaborate with you in order to make sure that you are able to meet the demand of the client that will be a specific country. Same applies to not only the demand but the sustainability of your business. So it brings all of that to say, how do we create sustainable businesses that will not die after 5 years, after 5 months? But at the center of it is understanding the global value chains, which is what we want to focus on as the country, to say, how do we build on that? How do we bring big businesses adopting what you call the China's dragon head, bringing big businesses to complement or bring on board the small businesses, unbundling value chains, giving them support, because big businesses can never be everywhere. They can never create the amount of jobs that gets to be created by small businesses. So for us, it gives that opportunity as many as possible businesses that must be brought on the trade platform.
Lastly, how have delegates received the exhibition that continues at Gallagher Estate? Because it's those small businesses that have already started with the ball rolling and have solidified and put a groundwork into their business. They are ready to go and participate in the rest of the globe, and they would then be directly benefiting from an element of this nature.
Well, the first thing, I'm not bragging, but you have to hear this. We have more than 200 exhibitors in Gallagher as things stand. That is an opportunity to network. It's not only showcasing the product, it's an opportunity to network with potential clients. This is why, as the Small Business Development Portfolio, we said, following this summit, in November, we'll be visiting 13 countries for the specific agreements. It doesn't mean business, darling, if it doesn't come to contracting. We are about contracting. So as they showcase, there are potential clients, but now we need to do everything on our side to make sure that when we take them to those countries for signing now in the specific markets, they will be market ready. We are assessing their bankability. We're trying to assist them with export trade in terms of the understanding the industry that they're going in. And this is the commitment that we have made as the government to say this BRICS Summit is not going to be another talk show. It has to come up with clear interventions. That's why we are willing and open to say, as South Africa, we are given an opportunity to participate in BRICS. Why not add other countries that will add value to what we want to achieve? The more markets they bring, the more access it brings to our people. And jobs will be created even if you are not in business. And that is the story that we bring.
Thank you so much for your time, Minister. Great opportunities lie ahead as the Minister of Small Business and Development, Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams, speaks to us about one of the talking points that has emerged, and that is a BRICS visa for entrepreneurs. Ayanda, an exciting development. We'll get outcomes later on today in terms of the closed sessions that are taking place. How far would that agreement be by the time we get to the end of day 2?
Absolutely. We look forward to it. Tumisang, Ndlovu, part of our team tracking day 2 of the 15th BRICS Summit in Sandton. Thanks very much indeed.